Good evening and welcome to Ireland Live for Thursday, the 20th of March 2025. My name is Paul Fitzsimons. I'm on me lonesome here tonight, but hey, I'll get through it. But what I was going to do was I was going to try and spin her up a little bit tonight. If you send me in a text, if you want to come on the show, you want to tell me what's going on in your area or anything like that, come in to me and send me a text to the WhatsApp number there. There's the WhatsApp number. I'll call it out now again in a few minutes. It's 353-089-203-1521. So yeah, it would be cool if you could join us there. Who we got? What's the crack? How are you, William? What's the crack with you, brother? How are you? Hi all. How are you, Paul? How's things? Yeah, all good. But we've had a packed 2 days again, haven't we? We Philip Dwyer yesterday getting €500 fine. Excuse me, I'll have to give up the smokes. Philip getting a €500 fine and for trespassing, but he never actually trespassed. Like, he showed his video and the judge said his video was it was better for the prosecution, that it just cemented what they were saying. And that's how he got the €500 fine. Listen, nobody goes into them places, and you don't go in, you don't trespass. Nobody does that. That was a public car park that Philip was in, you know what I mean? So €500. So I'm hoping my video doesn't help them in their case, you know what I mean? So yeah, how are you, Paul? And comments, peoples, how is all? How's things? Yeah, hiya, Paul. How's things? Frankie Payne, evening. What do you make of Trump's anti-Semitic hate speech laws, the Noahide laws, and him allegedly converting to Judaism? Well, we all know Trump is. Look, you look at the Congress. Look at the Congress over there. They're all Jew. That's what they are. You know what I mean? That's everything. And you're not allowed to say boo against them and everything else. Lads, we're smashing there. We're nearly up to 200 there. Is Dublin any safer? No, Dublin is not any safer. And it's not safe at all. You know what I mean? And there was actually 2 stabbings yesterday. There was a stabbing yesterday in Cork, and there was one in the Ilac Centre. I'll just pull up the Cork one there just to have a quick bow peep at that. Yeah, hang on. I'll just pull it up. But there it is there. I'll just make it a bit bigger. Bump. Let me make it a little bit bigger. There you go. There you go there. Man stabbed in broad daylight attacking Cork City. The area is sealed off by Gardaí. That was yesterday at 17 minutes past 1. A man has been seriously injured after being stabbed on a Cork City Street this morning. The man, believed to be in his 20s, was attacked in broad daylight near the gates of Griffith College on Wellington Road, a residential street in Cork's north side. Gardaí sealed off the scene this morning after being alerted to a serious assault on the street. The victim was rushed to hospital by ambulance with what is believed to be slash and stab wounds. Now, like, this is getting all to how would you say, it's happening every day. It's happening twice, 3 times a day. It has gone ridiculous, lads. It really has. And unless, listen, I know we talk about Sinn Adina and people say that vigilante groups and everything, you need to be getting lads out in your areas and talking and getting them out and looking after your areas and everything. You need to do that. You really do, people. So contact me there if you want, or contact Sinn Adina. But as I said there, lads, I'm just going to throw this out there. Let me see. Is that someone coming in already? No. Okay. If you contact us on 089 203 1521, you can come on the show. As I said, I'm on my own here tonight. So if anyone wants to come in, anyone who does come in, who texts me, I have a few people that text me. If you want to come in and tell me what's happening in your area live on the show, you can come in here via camera, or you can just do your voice. But yeah, I think we'll open it up to that tonight now if anyone wants to come in. So 089 203 1521. Fair play. But sorry, I just stopped sharing that. Sorry, yeah, but that was that stabbing. And then we had yesterday in the Oilac Centre. This was the same. I'm just going to play this. Simon Harris is a Jew as well. Have you seen the video government are paying for Ukrainian car repairs? I have it there and I'm going to play it now in a few minutes. I predict a huge glass flag happening soon. There's something big coming that I don't know where, but it will affect not only Ireland or Europe, but the whole world. Okay. And for anyone, I got information there earlier on this afternoon. There's a lot of pallets blocking the gateway of Thornton Hall. And I got word today from a fella who was called up to have a look at it to move them out of the way. And when he seen where it was, he walked away. So they want to move these pallets. Apparently, they put the pallets in there ages ago, probably 700 or 800 pallets. They were all just left in behind the gate. So it was not, even if you got in the gate, you couldn't get past the pallets. And now they want them moved ASAP. So why do they want them moved ASAP? That's the question I'd be asking, like, you know what I mean? So anyone you know in Thornton Hall, put them wide to that's going to happen. You know what I mean? False flag. Sorry. Good evening to you and yours. Good evening there. How are you? Pat Walsh. Yes, Simon Harris, Miho Martin, Alan Shatt are all Scooby-Doos. Okay. But yeah, it's been staged event. Or could this have been a staged event or a psyop? I don't know, but there was blood everywhere. I heard from a person yesterday that was actually there. She seen the blood. The blood was everywhere, she said. Everywhere. So, and then you had outside the house then, I'll pull that one down in a few minutes as well. You had outside, I'm just trying to keep up with these. Frankie Payne, yes, saying, I think against Russia, or saying it was Russia, Germany and EU are gearing up for war, 100%. Yeah, I think they are as well. Yeah. You're an old banger. Simon says, come to Ireland and bring your old banger. We'll have it tuned up and looking good. Yeah. Yeah, I tell you. Go on, I'm going to play this because I don't know whether anyone has seen it. So I'm going to play it now, just what this guy said yesterday. This went viral yesterday. This did. It's 4.5 minutes long. We'll play it and we'll come back.
Right. Did you know that the Irish taxpayer is paying, I couldn't believe this, I found this out today off our workshop. The Irish taxpayer is paying for asylum seekers' car repairs. Now, before everyone jumps on it, I'm sure they're not paying for every single repair, but we've had a couple of instances in our workshop over the past couple of months, maybe over the past year, maybe, where we have had foreign nationals. These were Ukrainian in this time, but I'm sure it's not just Ukrainian, I'm sure it's for other people, where there was work needed to be done on a Ukrainian registered car. And we had one there recently, about 6 months ago. It came to about €600. There was, I think there was tires or a service, something like that. And he said, can we just get an invoice? And that the Department of Social Protection, that the Department of Social Welfare were actually physically paid us the €600 for the invoice. And we had another one there recently, only very recently. And I'm not going to go into specific types of car or anything like that. But we had a premium branded Ukrainian registered car, needed a new engine, and the customer needed to get quotes from a couple of different garages and sent off to the Department of Social Protection, Department of Social Welfare, and that they were going to be paying the several €1,000 for the new engine in the Ukrainian registered car. I had to double check this twice with our workshop manager and mechanic as well. I could not believe this was actually happening. These are cars being driven around, not even paying Irish road tax. By people, by the looks of it now, that have plenty of money anyway. If the last car was anything to go by, this car was a Ukrainian registered premium brand car. Looks like no shortage of money, and the Irish taxpayer is actually paying for it. I shit you not. Now, I was debating posting this video at all because I don't want to be dragged into the whole immigration debate. Look, I'm not that kind of guy at all. I'm certainly not anti-immigration. If you're coming into the country and you want to pay your taxes and pay your way and get a job and just basically contribute to the society and add to the society, you are absolutely 100% more than welcome. And I think nearly all the country would agree with that as well. But the actual notion that you can come into the country from, and again, this is not having to go at Ukrainians. I'm not having to go at the asylum seekers at all. It's the setup. The setup is completely fucking arseways. Like, how is this a law? How is this possible? Like, do you know what I mean? When we see people below in the workshop, right, and there'd be retail customers, Irish customers that have their own jobs and everything that, and there's a 600 euro or 1,000 euro maintenance job they needed on their car, and they are genuinely struggling to afford and to pay for it. And then you can come in from a different country, and the Irish pay no taxes, and the Irish taxpayer will pay for your bill. What a fuck you that is to the Irish taxpayers and the people that work, and the people that are actually contributing to the paying for all this. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, the setup is completely wrong. I said, no issues with the asylum seekers are just they're playing the game, like, you know what I mean? They're entitled to it, obviously, so you're hardly going to say no to them. I have no ill will against them whatsoever. But the system is just so broken, like. And I think that's what's causing the frustrations. And no, you're not far right, and no, you're not anti-immigration if you just point out the blatant wastage of money here. I know everyone's having a go at Donald Trump and have a go at Elon Musk and everything like that, but what they're trying to do is try to eliminate some of that kind of wastage, because it is wastage, lads. I'm sorry, it is wastage. And I'm not taking any sides in this whatsoever, but I just thought that came up today, and I just thought that was kind of scandalous, to be honest. You know, so it's, now again, it's not something that's happening every day, but we've noticed it a couple of times over the last year, and from speaking to other leaders, I know it's happening in other places too. I always use the example of a group of Irish people going to Australia and how ridiculous and ludicrous it would be for them to be possibly entitled to Australian social welfare or an Australian council house or Australian anything. You go over there, and if you can't get a job, tough shit, you go home, like. Do you know what I mean? And that's how it should be when you go to a different country. The notion that you're entitled to a slice of the pie without contributing anything into it is preposterous. And again, like I said it again, because I certainly don't want to be brandished anything here, I am not blaming the people that come in. It's the system that is so completely and utterly broken. And I understand people's frustrations when they get mad over these kind of things.
Yeah. So that was the video. And anyway, so Liz is just saying there's supposed to be a video going around today of nice cars driving to a certain warehouse and picking up boxes of food and driving back to an asylum centre. That caught the guy's attention. They were nice cars. I'll see if I can put her up there now in a few minutes. Yeah, I did see that earlier. I did see it. Get a set of UK plates made up. Yeah. Michael John must come back and be careful. But Michael, yeah, I'm just going to go with that there. What you just said there, none of the Gardaí or transport companies in Ireland can assure my personal safety whilst visiting Ireland from the UK. They can't. Nobody can now. That's how bad this has actually got. You know what I mean? They have security on all the buses now, you know, and it's jobs for mates. It's jobs for migrants coming in. That's who's getting all these security jobs. You won't find a white security guard anywhere in town or anywhere else. I'm being honest with you. Like, all of these Duns, the whole lot, it's all black security guards and Pakistani and Indian. Everyone working in the garages and the shops, they're all Indian, they're all Pakistani, they're all black. It's gone ridiculous. Like, Orla even said it the other day. Carol's Irish shop in Carlow or Kilkenny or one of them she was in the other day. One Irish person in the whole place. One Irish person. You know, and get a set of UK plates. Sorry, I've done that already. That's gone on a long time, paying for their cars as well. I didn't know that now. You know, I'm far right and anti-immigration, and I don't care. Listen, we're all the same, Pat, to be honest with you. We really are. Keep sharing that out there, people. There, I'll throw it across the bottom there. If you can share it out, you can watch live on X at FitzyDub, at Anthony Casey, at Rugamorph27 on Facebook, Rugamorph27, Paul Fitzsimons, Facebook, and www.theirischannel.com/live. Yes. And if you want to buy us a coffee, you can buy us a coffee. Yeah. But we're up way over 300 there now. So, yeah, how are you folks from Britain? Yeah, how are you folks? Sorry I'm late. Sorry, Chris, yeah. But again, hold on. Is that me? Can you play the mentioned? Okay, that's what Jaden sent that to me there. I'll play that now in a few minutes. And are you still, so they're still pouring in? Yes, they are. Them cunts, to the end of the daily. Don't walk forward, arse up, outside the George. Yeah. Them trans, yeah. They don't walk forward, arse up, out of George. Yeah, I have a video there about them as well. The poor lad is starting to see the light. Is that me talking about? The system is broken, it's evil, and shouldn't be in Ireland. Get us back to the old Irish decentralised Brehon laws. Long live liberty. I'm just gonna pull down that video there now that you sent me, Jaden. So yeah, let me just BREHGN. Yeah, I'll pull that down. I'll play it. Seeing as though you're on there, you come on there. You can. I'll play that video that you sent me in. And in Carroll's in Dublin also. It's full of LGBT rubbish. Yeah, there was an incident in Tallaght and Brookfield, a foreign national running around topless trying to attack people. This was on Paddy's Day. Well, I heard today that there was a guy driving around Coolock, and he was looking at kids and what have you. Now, I don't know how true it is, but listen, we're getting this sent into us all the time, like, you know, maybe really are. But I'm gonna just go with this is what happened in the Dáil today. When a TD called this out, they start shouting shame, shame, shame. Now I'm gonna play this and have a listen.
Taoiseach, can you confirm whether the reported payments to the refugees, Ukrainian refugees, for vehicle repairs, including sums ranging from €400 to €7,000, are being sourced from the exceptional needs payment from the Department of Social Welfare, or is this coming from the humanitarian funding, similar to the humanitarian funding that this government or previous governments found as the €1 million per month for cats and dogs from the Ukraine? Additionally, Taoiseach, do you believe that this expenditure is good value for money, especially in light of challenges to the Irish citizens? Could you clarify for us in this House whether those payments are also available to IPAS refugees and those? And could you also, for the sake of clarification, as we know, there's 800,000 people after leaving these shores since 2008, Irish citizens who are living in Australia to Canada. I'm not aware of any other government in the world that is repairing people's cars and putting new tyres on them and putting engines in their cars. So can we could we get some clarification on that, Taoiseach? Thank you.
And I hope when we do get the clarification that you come back and narrow that. Let me be very clear. I mean, we help people in this country who fled war from Ukraine. I think we shouldn't
by repairing their cars.
Well, I think we shouldn't be giving out, Deputy, and you've asked the question, I'm going to answer now. I think we shouldn't be giving out a widespread sense that people from Ukraine are getting new cars, new tyres, and repairs. I think we should be very. Sorry. I know you're new to. The House, but we have. I know you're new to the House, but we've rules. You speak and then I speak. So let me speak. So I'm going to get you further information in relation to any such payments. But can I tell you, people who fled here from very difficult situations, have fled here in very difficult situations. I'm proud of the level of support we provide them, and I don't want to give a sense to people watching in from this that there's widespread repairs of people's cars going on. People who, they're really, let's have a sense of perspective. The people that I know from Ukraine who come here are making a bloody great contribution to the Irish economy. They're making a great contribution to their kids in our schools. They're working hard, and they're very welcome here. They're very welcome people from Ukraine. They're European, and we look forward to welcoming them to the European Union very shortly.
Deputy Nolan.
Don't be shaking your head. Dog whistle somewhere else.
Deputy Nolan.
You know what you're doing.
You were a dog whistler.
You're at it.
You were a dog whistler.
Deputy Nolan, please.
You were a dog whistler. You were a dog
Please.
whistler.
Someone texted.
You were dog whistling. Shame, shame. Did you hear him? Could you imagine that little scrawny piece of crap talking down to you? You're new here. This is how we do it. I speak, you speak, and then I speak, and you let me speak. Get a grip, you scrawny little bleeding. He's like a poultry out with a rifle, for Jesus' sake. He's a gobshite. Russian ship off the coast again near the undersea broadband cables. Is that true? I haven't seen that. But hey, listen. This is the false flag, I reckon now. Do you reckon yourself that could be the false flag now? Let's bomb this thing off the coast of Ireland because it's messing with the internet cables. Shocking. How can someone do that to kids? Yeah. But the Russian ship, you know, it is crazy. And what I'm going to just go with here as well, former school building in, no, we'll go with that in a few minutes. Let's see what video is there now. Yeah, I'm just going to play this Brehon Law one that Jaden Chris just sent in to me. So, Jaden, if this is not good, it's on your head. But let's just play it.
Uncomfortableness with the law. So when I see things like in recent news, the guy was building a kind of a home, not a home, but like a cabin on his land, and the government is telling him to knock it down. Meanwhile, they're spending thousands and thousands building modular homes for Ukrainians. That's unjust. That's unjust. Do you know what I mean? So coming back to your question about honour price, in early Ireland, that would never happen because a man of higher rank always got fined more than a man of low rank for the same crime. Justice wasn't blind in early Ireland. And I would argue that that's a good thing, actually. So you have let's say a kind of an illiterate farmer who's not well educated. And I'm not speaking about Ireland today, I'm talking about back then. And he has to go against a noble or something like that. The noble was always fined more than the poor farmer for a like crime. Why? Because you're expected to know better. Your honour price was on the line. Now, I should say as well, it worked both ways. It wasn't just a one-way, single-edged sword. It was a double-edged sword in that a crime against someone of a higher rank would always entail a higher fine than if it was against someone of a lower rank. Why? Because the honour price comes into it at every angle or every opportunity. So it's like if I'm a lord or if I'm a low-level prince or something like that, and a farmer down the road, I don't know, steals my comb or something like that, he would have to pay me more than he would if he was going to repay like someone of the same rank or status as him. So it worked both ways. Now, I should say as well that in Ireland, with honour price, there was a lot of expectations that came with that. There was a lot of duties that went with that. And some of those duties were to maintain the roads, to fund a local hostel that was free for travellers, So it wasn't like you didn't have any duties. And that's where social welfare would come into play, because the king, you weren't defined by how much money you had. You were defined by how much you could afford to give away. And that's why I said earlier that the nobles are called fla. And what's the Irish for generosity? Flahul. That's why, and that's the reason why, because if a noble didn't give you food, they would lose some of their status, they would lose their honour price. So it was very rigid and it was very regimented, I should say, on what the roles were and what the duties were. And I don't think there was any such thing as rights, because that's a more modern invention, right? That's like a new Western philosophy thing. But there was definitely a lot of duties, and and honour price was the way that you could manage that.
Yeah, you brought up something I think quite important.
Yeah, no, Jaden, fair play to you. But Brehon law, that's I've been reading up some things about it, not much now, to be honest with you, but people are saying we need to go back to that. Like, you know what I mean? Is Gerard Murphy here? Gerard Murphy? I don't know. But again, lads, as I said at the start of the show there, if you want to come in and voice your opinion here live, you can come into the studio on 089 203 1521. Come in and have a chat. Let me know how you're getting on and what have you. We'll see how we get on. But I just want to share this here. This is okay. Yeah, this is a former school building for anyone living in Blanchardstown. Down by I think it's called the Black Wolf. Yeah, it's down there. Yeah. Former school building in Blanchardstown to become an iPass centre. This was only today again. An application to use at least one part of the school on Mill Road in North County Dublin to provide refugee accommodation has been lodged with Fingal County Council. It was submitted on March 10th with the commencement date of March 18th, Tuesday just gone. Like, they submitted it last week and it's gone through, and we have a commencement date of the 18th, which was Tuesday. Like, come on, lads, you know what I mean? This is everything. You'll be afraid to leave your gates open now, you know what I mean? And these will be bleeding, putting migrants into your garden. What is striking about the proposal is that it involves the change of use from a school. For indeed, while the buildings at Mill Road, not far from James Connolly Memorial Hospital, are no longer in current use to provide trivia such as education, this has generally what it has been at, other than at one time. When it was the headquarters of the Irish Swiss Institute of Horology, which taught people how to make watches. Oh, lovely. I can't see them letting anyone in there now to make watches. The people that will be in there won't be making watches. I'd say they'll be making bags and wallets in the next couple of years in Mountjoy, to be honest with you. Sick, disgusting, shapeless NGO goons. Yeah. I'm going to have a chat next week. Pure busy now, working late. Yeah, no problem, yeah. Ukrainian coward to mechanic. You will fix my BMW for free. It's making a dog whistling sound. Warrenstown House was turned into a Muslim centre. Yeah. Hello, who cares? Even Ukrainians know it was Ukraine who started this, not Russia, with USA. But Russia gets the blame anyway, continuously. That's exactly what happens here. You know what I mean? Like, we all know this all happened in 2014 with Victoria Nuland and the Klitschkovs and the whole lot, like, taking over there. And we all know they were sniping their own people in Medan, is it? Or yeah, I think so. But that's where they were sniping their own people in there. Well, Russian people, not their own people. Heard Roderick O'Gorman done a talk in Diswellstown School, Dublin 15 last week on social media, and practically told her to ignore protesting videos and videos of violence. I wonder why. Yeah, exactly. Roderick was front and center of the parade on Monday as well, with all his Muslim and black cohort behind him. So, you know, he knew well if he had stood in front of Irish people, he'd have been asked questions and slagged. So that's why he didn't do it. No wonder the Gardaí are giving them drugs. Yeah. O'Gorman will be rooted out by the end of this. Yeah, I hope so, Air Force. I really do, because I'll pull the switch. Ukraine was turned into a globalist cesspit. Yeah, it sure was. But speaking of, we're going to go back. We're going to delve into the EU now. Okay. Yeah, digital currency is coming. We were talking about this ages ago. And here it is here. It's a Christina Lagarde. Have a listen to this woman.
On your second point, I tend to share your views. Nature doesn't like vacuum. And we started working on the digital euro way back. Actually, when I started my term 5.5 years ago. And I'm not claiming, parentality on the digital euro, because my colleague Benoît Cœuré had already committed a speech on this matter before I arrived. But I certainly carried on with that project, and subsequently Fabio Panetta on the board, and then Piero Cipollone, who has replaced Fabio, have taken the lead together with a very, very good team, which is focused on accelerating the pace and hopefully campaigning enough with all the stakeholders, meaning European Parliament, meaning European Council, meaning European Commission, so that we can eventually, not put to bed, but put to reality this digital euro. The deadline for us is going to be October of 25, and we are getting ready for that deadline, but we will not be able to move unless the other parties, the stakeholders, as I call them, Commission, Council and Parliament, actually complete the legislative process, without which we will not be able to move. And I think it is critically important, and it seems to the agnostic or the skeptics, it seems to be more relevant and more of an imperative now than ever before, both on the wholesale and on the retail level, both.
Well, yeah, Trump, Musk, and even Alex Jones are all pushing for digital currency. Yeah, they are. And I've seen it. Like, Trump has his own currency there, hasn't he now? The Trump digital currency and everything, like, you know what I mean? But Bitcoin, do you reckon Bitcoin is the way to go now? You know what I mean? Like, I was never into Bitcoin or anything like that, because you turn off the internet, you turn off the coin, you turn off the money. You have no way of getting your money. So, I'm really, the scarf hides the fangs. Yeah, yeah. In the 90s, the teachers taught us simple alphabet, ABC. How did it become LGB? Yeah, it is like, it's ridiculous. Cash is king. I have a video there I'll show in a few minutes of Dr. Vincent Carroll talking about it, about bringing third-party people in. He's with Eddie Hobbs there. Air Force, good to see it. Yeah. To carbon footprint prison. Yeah, concentration camp system. Yeah. Here we go here. What is the purpose of the EU, of the digital EU currency? Is it because the euro currency has become worthless? Yes, that's exactly it. So we all know there's no money in the pension fund. We all know this war has to keep going on, because if this war doesn't keep going on, the cash cow is gone. You know what I mean? They won't be able to keep asking for money and getting money. You know what I mean? So that's why it's in the EU's interest to keep this going. You know what I mean? Tom and the Adams apple. Yeah, I think, yeah, she is. They will take from the people's bank accounts to fund this war. That's exactly what they're going to do. Yeah, I reckon it now. Listen, I can't see that happening. I'm being honest with you. If it happens in 10 years' time or 5 years' time, yeah, but we cannot just push out of there. We need to renegotiate deals, I think. You know what I mean? That'd be my humble opinion. Dubai is trying to get people to invest in property in the Trafford Centre. Yeah. In Manchester, I wouldn't go to Manchester. Trump is a different cheek of the same arse. They're all a different cheek of the same arse, lads. You know what I mean? But can you trust one more than the other? We don't know. You know, they're all puppets. They're all wall touchers. Follow the money, and you'll find the Scooby-Doo behind it all. Well, it is true. Every media company is owned by a Scooby-Doo. So I promise you, Saudi Arabia and the rich Arab countries have these people in their back pockets. I'm sure of it. You can smell a conspiracy theorist. You can call me a conspiracy theorist, but I'm sure that's what's going on. Maybe Manchester is more multi-story tower blocks in recent months. History is repeating itself. Yeah, digital currency can work either way. Qatar, yeah, exactly. How will homeless people use Bitcoin? Trump and Musk are up to something. Yeah, I don't know, to be honest with you. But that's it. How can old people use? Derek Domino's video today was on point. Your dad's in it, Paul. Is he? Listen, Derek Domino's videos, they'd be 10 minutes long. Like, I couldn't be playing. If I had seen it earlier, I'd probably cut bits out. But what is the pepper spray when my dad's talking? But listen, he hasn't been right since that day. I'm being honest with you. He hasn't been well at all. But cash is king, yeah. To keep physical money going to local shops, towns, and cities. Can't. Seeing it Air Force, he was spot on. Yeah, I'll have a look at that now later. We probably play a bit of it on Sunday. But by the way, Anthony, hope you're happy and well besides all this crap that's been going on. Anthony's not actually on with me tonight, but listen, I'm sure he'll be watching, or he's on a Zoom call there now. It's a lot of work to be doing now at the minute. And there was a few people, hang on there. Let me just see how I got them. There was a few people that was put out. Frank Conway, and I'll have a look for them now in a few minutes. But there was three put out. Frank Conway and Councillor Tom. Frank Conway is the vice chairman, and Tom MacDonald, Councillor Tom MacDonald, is on board as well now with Ireland Force. So yeah, it's brilliant to see. It really is brilliant to see. But I'll find the pictures now in a while. I'll get them up on Twitter. But we just wanted to. Tracy O'Mahony put a thing up there yesterday of Micheál Martin's breakdown of his wages, right? So I think I'm just gonna share this here now just to have a look at this. This will make you sick. I swear to God, this will make you sick. Taoiseach Micheál Martin is on an annual salary of 244 grand, excluding expenses, which amount to 30 grand. That's 274 grand, all right? Martin's salary is 6 times the average working wage of 44k. While the average person works 5 days a week for a 44k salary, how many days do you think Micheál Martin works? January, he worked 2 days. February, 11 days. March, 8 days. April, 8 days. Like 9 and 7, 16, 25, 26, 36, 44, 52, 53, 63. 65 days a year he works. Look, Jesus, look, there it is there. I didn't have to count it up. 65 days a year out of 272 days, and all other TDs will work. And if they call it work, 65 days. Look, like, it's a gravy train. It's just a gravy train. You know what I mean? It really is. Yeah, Sarah Herity. Okay. Hello, Sarah. How are you? But again, anyone wants to come on, lads. You know what I mean? I'm sitting here on my lonesome. You know what I mean? But always said it. You have to come to violence at some stage. No way around it. Listen, we're trying our best not for it to come to that now. I'm being honest with you. That's why we're all in this now, trying to get our forced up and running and getting it all back together. I said this once and I'll say it again. The Irish Army isn't enough to defend Ireland all by itself. Yet the Brits will always have your back, but Ireland's natives need to have basic training. Yeah, I think so. Brilliant list. Communities come together and stock up. Crash is coming. Bartering system is going to be handy for all. Yeah, bit of silver, bit of gold. Yeah. With taxes so high, what real incentives are they going to be? How's your arses? All right, how are you? Yeah, Martin must be due a holiday. Yeah, Martin's very busy as well in the background. I'm being honest with you. And they're big long summer holidays. Yeah, 65 days working to destroy Ireland. The rest living it off backs. Yeah, you're dead right. You're dead right. It's crazy, isn't it? But we had the EU is all over the place. I have to say that they're. What I'll do is I'm gonna move on. Okay, I'm gonna just move on and talk about an iPad centre that Matty McGrath has been talking about. Matty McGrath spoke about this on the radio the other day. He doesn't say much, but when he says it, he does say it. You know what I mean? So, fair play, lads. We're at that banging 500 there. Fair play to you, yeah. Keep sharing it out there. Share away. Share it to everyone. Text, like, subscribe, share, please, if you don't mind. I'm just going to play Matty here now, okay, and we'll come back and talk to it in a minute. It's 3 minutes long. We'll come back.
We are, and still you look at the stats for January then, Matty, where tourism here is down 25%, but more worrying is that spend is down 27%.
Yeah, why wouldn't it? You didn't tell me. I stay in Bray when I'm in Dublin. Yeah. My uncle has a hotel there. There was 4 hotels. Now there's 1. The other 3 are gone to Ukrainian refugees. So, I mean, look at Tipperary. Down to the vein from Roscrea, Racket Hall, down to the Drum House Hotel, Helen's Hotel in Clonmel, and indeed, and Tig down and was offered, but it wasn't taken down in Killusty. And that's just go down to the Sean Kelly former house. It's totally transformed. So that's right down to the middle of the town. And Kilcorn now is on the brink. It has been offered. Hasn't been accepted yet, but there's ongoing negotiations.
Yeah, we got all sorts of mixed messages.
Well, you did, and so we. But the fact is that it has been offered, and it's unfortunate. It's like take Dundrum. When we met with this morning, yesterday morning, 2 weeks, I met with a group of people from Dundrum with the immigration team, the public engagement team. On their brochure, it was pointed out to them on their rule book, they're not supposed to change the demographics of any town or village by more than 5%. Dundrum has a population and census of 220, and they're putting in 280. That's changing it by well over 100%. So that's totally reckless.
But it's up in the air now as to whether or not that can happen because of all sorts of legal procedures.
Well, that's not from the government point of view or the department. They're plowing ahead. It's the fact that that ordinary people have to have recourse to the courts to check that out. They've been screaming at the fire office. So have I been since it started to check it out. And it's very unfair.
But there's a heritage aspect to it now.
Now, of course, there always was, sure. Yeah. But the department don't seem to mind any of these things. Yeah. That was pointed out to them several months ago at another meeting in the same place in Tiptown. All those issues were brought to them. And you'd wonder it's going back. But as far as American people are concerned, they have their own issues, as you know, with immigration. And they can't depend on Matty for a vote if there's issues that I'm firmly against, which immigration is ridiculous. I'm hoping for a change. And what's going on at the moment is in a lacuna because the responsibilities for immigration haven't been transposed from Minister Roger O'Gorman's department. It went to Norma Foley.
That hasn't happened yet.
And why? I mean, God, only one have...
from integration, you mean?
Integration into health.
Integration, yes.
So Norma Foley has... She won't engage with it. She just ran to do with it, like a hard potato. And Jim O'Connor just shrugged his shoulders and said, I haven't got that yet. And also the Junior Minister, Michael Murphy, is lobbying the Junior Minister hard on as well as I am. Fine Gael, Minister of State Brophy, Colin Brophy. And... like it's a silly situation. We're there as Oireachtas members, representing the people, Mr. Tuckty Dolly, and they tell us we haven't got it, and we're doing our best. And the officials we told that to the officials. The Taoiseach told me in the floor to draw, Taoiseach Harris, there a month ago, that he wants a pause on this, and 'twas paused until the time as things have settled, and we'll see. And we're trying our best now. We think we have it paused still, but we don't know. We're told that they could arrive in Dundrum at any time, and their own document says that it can't be more than 5% of a demographic change, and putting in over more than what people, way more than what the people of Dundrum are.
Matty, good to see you, and,
Thank you, Frank.
and welcome back as well. Thanks very much for coming into us today.
Thank you, Frank.
1800
Dublin bus is like Dublin Zoo. No offence to Fluffies. Yeah. But as Matty said there, it's only supposed to be 5% of the demographics. Sure, you look at Dundrum and everything else, that's at the upper. There was only 280 people or something in Dundrum, and now there's something like 600 and something. So, you know, it's Ken Donald. What happened with Matty McGrath? Everyone was singing his praises not that long ago. Yeah, but then he voted, didn't he, to him and Carol Nolan voted a couple of weeks ago not to about the salaries and the whole lot, and not to hold them accountable. You know what I mean? So people don't forget stuff like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, Busaras is disgraceful. It's terribly run down. It's a kip. You can't walk around it. You can't walk around it. 5%, more like 500%. Yeah, you're dead right. You are dead right. I've 2 burnt pots outside the back door. I've got to get a Brillo pads for them. Okay, well done. I'll send you down the teapot. I mean the diaspora who won't intend coming home but love Ireland. Well, that's exactly what Conor McGregor was trying to get at the other night, wasn't it? Don't trust any of them. They'll all shut up the scam. Yeah. Well, I hope you still manage the feed. Yeah. But I have to get there. I'm going to play him now in a few minutes. But I'm just going to have a look and see how we got any more stories there to pull up in the newspaper. No. But yeah, Jim O'Callaghan, what is the minister doing? You know what I mean? Let's be honest about it. Like, they're just moving these people in. It's not good for the communities. Like, you know what I mean? Women are not safe. Women cannot walk the streets anymore. You know what I mean? It's gone ridiculous. It really has. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna look here and see have I got that video. There was a couple of videos there. Yeah, we had in our beautiful Five Lamps the other night, we had a Palestinian march. I don't know whether any of you seen it or not, but we had a Palestinian march. And what you'll spot the difference here is because this march was let do whatever they want. We can't even stand and peacefully protest, and we're being pepper sprayed and arrested. So let's just play this and we'll come back.
This is crazy, right? Okay, so this is in the middle of Dublin city centre last night. And they're middle of the city centre, and they've stopped traffic, they've blocked all the area. See how many there are. And they're just left alone. You know, they're left. Let them off. What's the difference? This is the reaction when it's locals protesting against an asylum centre. It's just locals saying we don't want an asylum centre here. And this is the difference. In a quiet road. Dublin city centre, quiet road.
That was the people in Newtown Mount Kennedy last year getting pepper sprayed and getting baton charged. But this is what I'm saying. Just sorry, I said the Five Lamps. It wasn't. It was a Connell Bridge as far as I could see from that. But this is what happens. These people can shut down airports. These people can shut down anywhere they want. And they can shout at guards and slag off guards and do whatever they want. And they do not get arrested because they carry the Palestinian flag. Oh, let them away. Oh, the poor things. They're fighting for this. They're fighting for nothing. Whatever they're doing here is nothing. It's making no blind bit of difference to the world or to Palestine or any. Nobody is even listening to Ireland. So get that out of your head. And again, there should be only one flag flown in this country, and that is the tricolour. There's no way anymore. There's no more flags. I'm sick. If I see any flags now from now on, I'm taking them or I'm getting rid of them. It's not on. We're an Irish country. They're the only flags that should be flown, especially in Dáil and everywhere else. We see in Manchester all the time, Free Palestine. I'm sick listening to it. Not our Garda. Yeah. But newsflash, there's no such place as Palestine. Yeah. Nothing but virtue signals. That's all they are. You know what I mean? But they get away with it. This is the thing I'm telling you. The likes of Philip Dwyer, the likes of Derek, the likes of myself, we all get arrested for going to protests. These don't get arrested. You know what I mean? Because they don't speak out against it. The likes of Ruth Coppinger, they're all her crew. You know what I mean? Stick the turban on, or stick the blatant headscarf on or whatever, and you're brilliant. You know what I mean? If it's not LGBT, it's other bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? It's, what's he saying there, Ken? Garda ancestors probably guarded the food shipped out while they left. Yeah, listen, I'm going to be honest. I do know a couple of guards, and they're not on board with this. They're not, you know, and I know the reasons why. They have mortgages, they have this, and I know people will say that's not an excuse, but that is their excuse. You know what I mean? That is their excuse. They have the wife, they have the children, they have the lovely car, the lovely house. They don't want to lose that by speaking out against it, but they're going to have to speak out. There's going to come a day where you have to speak out. You know, they're attracting the Jews all the time. I was there in Newtown, Mount Kennedy that night. Bully Boy, Garda, and PSNI. Yeah, I was the same. I was in Coolock. I was in the heart of it in Coolock, and I seen everything that they did. They're a bunch of cowards. Why weren't they on flights out of here? Yeah. What does that say? Things are moving quickly. It's time to discuss re-immigration. Better now than splitting over in 2 years' time. Val Martin was the last breed of our Garda. Val is a good guy, yeah. Val actually ran as a candidate with Val for the Irish Freedom Party. The left are mental. Yes, they are mental. You're dead right. Stick them scarves up your arses. Yeah. The same with the EU rag flag, Paul. Yeah, you're right, Tricia. There's no such country as the EU. Exactly. It shouldn't be allowed in this country. It's a joke. It is a joke. What a joke. We have enough to deal with our own country and people. Look at the vulnerable homeless children and ignore these woke sickos. Listen, I get what you're saying, but like, we have 15,000 homeless. We have 5,000 of them are children. You know what I mean? We can't get, right, I'll be honest with you. I'm still looking for a doctor. Okay, I'm unemployed at the moment, and I was told to get a medical card. I must be 3 months trying to get a doctor. I'm at the been to 4 or 5 different doctors in the area, and they won't take me. No, we're full. Like, that is the crunch point here. The dentists, the hospitals, the doctors. You know what I mean? You can get a job. You can get a job anywhere, Dunn's or anywhere like that, McDonald's. They can all get jobs, but we can't get doctors. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous, like, you know? It really is. The hardest people to wake up are those pretending to be asleep. Yeah, and I know a few of them. I really do. Looks crazy. Seen all this foreign Garda now. Seen a Chinese in Garda a few months ago. Was going to ask him for a bag of prawn crackers, chicken balls, and foreign run. There's actually a Chinese guard in Cork who is supposed to be a little bastard because he was the one that arrested Ross, or he went after Ross Lahoyve. But yeah, they called him out on a few things. Mass deport. Conor McGregor, the next Irish president. Mass deportations incoming. Yeah, that's it. You're right too, Conor. If that's, yeah, come on in. There's the number there. Come in and have a chat. They are full, or they won't take you. Yeah, that's listen. They won't take me because I'm a medical card patient. You know what I mean? They're probably full of all of these medical card patients, because these all get medical cards. All these Ukrainians get medical cards as soon as they arrive in the country. Now, how many thousands of Ukrainians are in the country? This is what I'm saying to you. It's messing up our society. It's messing up what we have going. You know what I mean? Like I've had insurance. I've worked all my life. Like, I'm only unemployed 2 years. Like, you know what I mean? But like, I had health insurance from the company for over 25 years. Like, you know what I mean? So I never had to worry about shit like that. You know what I mean? It was paid for, and that was it. But now it's, how many young people are still living with their parents, are couch surfing? Now you have it. Hundreds of thousands of them, I'd say. Hundreds of thousands of them. Moneybags Paul played the video on here earlier about the Ukrainians, Cara players. Yeah, I did, yeah. Conor McGregor next to respect. Deport. Yeah, I think you can. I think that's what we're doing. When Hamas butcher Jewish children and they wear the ISIS flag, when the Jews butcher Arabs, they wear the Pakistani one. Yeah. What percentage of Irish have jobs in all sectors in comparison to all multicultural foreigners? You're not going to find that out, because the NGOs are put in place there to to give these people jobs. That's the problem. You know what I mean? When you tear down fences, you soon remember you have to put them back up. Yeah. Did you see the Garda dongs? She's about 40 kilos. But did you see the other guard? The guard that's she's a Muslim. She's not allowed to put her hands on a man. So how is that going to happen? What's going to happen there? Like, Muslim women aren't allowed to touch another man. So what happens when she goes to arrest somebody? Do we have to call a man to do it? What's the point in having her there if she can't do the full job? You know what I mean? Sorry. As a woman, I would not be happy to be stopped by an unvetted person dressed as a guard. Neither would I. Neither would I. They expect the only people to speak for Ireland are perfectly sneaky, clean angels. Yes, McGregor is no angel, but who is? Lads, I've said this before. Conor McGregor rings. If I ring Conor McGregor at 7 o'clock in the morning and I go partying with him, you're going to expect to be, expect to have fun. That's all I'll say to you. You're not going there to play tiddlywinks. You know what I mean? So, listen, we've all watched this case. I've watched this case as well. Listen, I don't know whether he did it or whether he didn't do it, but he was not convicted in a criminal court. He was convicted in the civil court, the same way as Donald Trump was convicted in the civil court. It's not worth the paper it's written on. It's bullshit. You know what I mean? You can't go around saying this, that, and the other. And I'd say Varadkar's going to be in a lot of hot water over what he said the other night, because he said he was a convicted rapist, and he's not a convicted rapist. So, you know, as I said, I'm not taking up from him. I've no interest in any of it because I stay out of all of it. I don't. Yeah. That's the guard that I was on about, Paul. Chinese guard in Cork. Heard Russell Hoyve saying he must be approached with caution. He's full of sweet and sour cover. Yeah. Even if it's a low amount getting car repairs, we know the other stuff they're getting for sure. Yeah. We need to start talking in Irish. I have gone back to classes. I used to pal around with lads years ago who spoke in Gypsy. They used Hebrew, Habra, Dibra, Dabra, and they used to, and you wouldn't have a clue what they were saying. You wouldn't have a clue what they'd be saying. You know, you get a few little words out of them. You know what I mean? But yeah, the traveller lingo. Good night, Air Force. Fair play to you. I'm only gonna play a few more videos. I'm gonna head out myself, to be honest with you. But bravo! It's the end of the local funeral parlour, local estate agent in townships across the country. Yeah. It's gone ridiculously. She left her kid for a coke-fueled weekend. Listen, you know as well as I do what happened then. You know what I mean? And then she went home. You know, she went home then after a coke-fueled weekend and probably got a few clatters for the same. You know what I mean? For doing it. But Paul McGregor, could McGregor sue for defamation? Well, I think he can. Well, why not? He wasn't convicted. He wasn't convicted of rape in a criminal court. He was convicted in a civil court. So, as far as I'm concerned, I think he can claim for defamation. Hang on just for a minute, lads. Oh, it's always when you're doing something, the kids come out looking for you for different stuff, isn't it? Johnny Bravo, they'll build their own estates next. That's exactly what's going to happen. You know what I mean? I'm going to just, hang on, I'll just see have I got this video here. Boom, boom, boom. No, I'll put it down now in a minute. But it's actually about the UK. And it's just what you're saying there. They'll probably build their own houses. Why are all these mosques going around Donegal and everywhere else and all the little villages? Why do you need a mosque in the village if there's only a few Muslims in the village? You know what I mean? It's like, you know, having a George in the village for the one gay that's in the village. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So there's a bigger plan here. There's a big plan here in operation, people. I'm telling you now. But I'm just going. I'll play this video now when it pulls through. It's actually from the UK, and it's a guy talking about it. And I think it's only 5% of the population are Muslim, and they're letting them put a mosque in. And I'd say that they're already building houses there as well for them. But you look at the one in Clongriffin. If that one goes ahead in Clongriffin, that will be colossal. You know what I mean? I'm just going to play this video and have a listen to this guy. It's 3 minutes long. Have a listen to it. Because this is what's happening here as well. It's happening in Donegal. It's happening in Letterkenny. It's happening all up around the country that they're throwing these mosques in here. You know what I mean?
Morning, everybody. Have you heard of a place called Dalton-in-Furness? Probably not. Dalton-in-Furness is a town in Cumbria, very, very close to the beautiful Lake District. And it's in the news this week because there's a little bit of an uproar and dispute going on about planning permission, which has been granted for a very large new mosque in Dalton-on-Furness. It's a £2.5 million project. Planning permission was granted a couple of years ago, and potentially building work has started and may well complete later this year. Although at the moment they apparently seem to be short of money and are putting out videos to raise a lot more money to try and finish the building of this mosque. So this throws up quite a few questions. Why is a great big mosque being built in a place called Dalton-on-Furness when all of the available data shows that 0.3% of the population in that area are from the Islamic community? I think I saw a report which says it's actually less than 15 people within immediate locations are Muslims. But this was given planning permission as a need for this area. Really? Why was it granted planning permission when there's 0.3% of the population? Even more so, why was it given planning permission when the very same council in the very same area turned down planning permission for a children's home which was being built or wanted to be built for children with special educational needs? And from what anyone can tell in terms of the planning consent, the reason it was turned down was because of concerns about disturbance to the local community and noise pollution. Really? So you're turning down planning for what supposedly, I guess, would be very important children's care provisions and special educational needs children's care provisions because it might be a little bit noisy, but you're giving planning permission to a bloody great mosque where presumably they'll do the call for prayer, and if the Islamic population in the area grows, there'll be streams of people in and out of it all the time. Really? Really, really, really. What do we think of that? Why the hell does this mosque need to be built there? Why was it given planning permission when planning permission for much more important projects were turning down? And why build it in an area when there's less than 15 people that are going to use it? Where are they going to travel from? Or are there plans for that population to increase dramatically that nobody knows about? It stinks. It stinks, it stinks, it stinks. And it's just completely indicative of what's going on the length and breadth of this country.
Yeah, as I said, it's happening here as well. I just want to... Yeah, Al just sent me in a video there now. I'm just pulling it down there now, Al. It's the one of the mosques. That one that was blighted by mosques. Hi, Kieran. Paul, I seen a video there of a mosque in front of Auckland. I'm actually pulling it down as we speak, Al. Yeah, I have it. No problem. I actually have one there from the gate as well. I'm trying to pull down. So, yeah, just pull that down there first. It's great when you have quick internet, isn't it? Brilliant. You know what I mean? I love the old internet. Well, it's Fergus one there. Just let me copy that. Yeah, put that in there. Don't mind me. I'll just talk away there. But yeah, it's Niall McConnell done a great one as well about it too. The mosques up and they're putting mosques in right where churches are. You know, right across the road from a church. You know, come on. You know that I can't stand the side of them either. Look at the queues outside the one in Talbot Street. Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it? Yeah. It's like a building. It's like building a super brothel, yeah. Paul, there's an allocated prayer room with my job for Muslims, and I've got warnings for wearing my cross necklace. Wear your crosses, folks, and hate that. Yeah, I'm the same. I have the Blessed Virgin. I wear her all the time. So, yeah, that's what I have. Elizabeth Murray. Hi, Paul. How are you, Elizabeth? How's things? Well, we're nearly at the hour mark there, people. Yeah. Davina, my new name for now will be Two Pots Davina. Islamic slave traders called the prayer slayers tribe. Call it enslavers, slave traders, cult. Yeah. Just let me see. Has that pulled down? Yeah. Exported there. It's still uploading. So, yeah. hang on there. The missus made a good point. Why hire a Chinese guard? They can't see further than across the road, and they need to stand on a step to look over 2 foot. Well, they're not all that size now. I mean, I worked with a lot of them. Like I worked in Jazz in the village there in Coolock for years, delivery driver and cooking in the kitchen. Like, you know what I mean? And it was, listen, they were all shapes and sizes, and people used to say, "Oh, they all look the same." I knew every one of them. You know what I mean? They don't all look the same. You know what I mean? If you look enough, you'll cop. You know what I mean? Good, thanks, Paul. That's good. Fair play to you, Elizabeth. But we had a friend of mine was on me. I was talking about her the other day. She's in Wexford, and we're still trying to get Shannon and Nadine to head down there. And we also have someone going down to Galway as well. So, yeah, don't worry. We're going to send the cavalry in to you. Don't you worry. We will. We have someone coming to see us to save the day. Not to save the day. We'll go in and have a cup of tea with you and let you see that you're not on your own, you know. I wouldn't want anyone in the throes of Ramadan hungry and tired operating on me. Yeah. But again, we'll go back to the nursing thing as well. 85% of all claims against doctors are against foreign doctors in this country. Like, they're coming in here and pretending. Taxi driver, which is a Muslim, said that they are only interested in buying land in Ireland, not houses. Yeah. This is so as they can buy there, you know. Yes, peeps. What's Mr. McGregor saying? I carry a pack of Granby sausages everywhere. Now I have a problem. Yeah, well, the old pig's heads things as well. You throw one over the fence. Apparently that's supposed to work. You know what I mean? But I don't know how true that is. But I really don't know how true that is. But Jesus, we're flying it there, lads. Flying it, we are. Well done. Up to 700 there. Keep sharing it out there, people. We know that. Listen, as long as it keeps getting shared out and we have a bit of content there, I'll keep talking. So, and again, if anyone wants to come in and have a chat, come in and have a chat. Tell us what's going on in your area. I can drop you in there. Look, I can have 3 years here if you just want to come in and talk. Is Corky watching? If Corky's watching, he can come on there and talk if he wants. If he come in and have a chat with me. But yeah. But hang on, people, again, just for a second. Can you do the medicine? Can you do my leg? Can you do this? Can you do that? Jeez, I tell you, it's great to feel wanted. I have to say, it's really great to feel wanted. But Elizabeth, what are you saying? Now you said it, share and share. Yeah, share it to everyone. Yeah, please do. What's going on with Malachy Steenson? He's gone really quiet. Well, I know Malachy was on holidays there up to a couple of weeks ago. He was on a cruise and the whole lot with his missus. So listen, there's a lot of people still deflated over what happened in the elections now, and I myself didn't bother me in the least. Like, honestly, I didn't give a shit. I just wasn't going to come out and start posting stuff and slagging people off and doing stupid things. So, yeah, I'm sure Malachy will be back in the game now in the next couple of weeks. I'm sure we'll have something planned. But as you were saying earlier, one of the lads was saying earlier, the whole country needs to be shut down. Boom, airports, ports, train stations, the whole lot. Let nothing through. Nothing gets through. You shut it down for a day or two, then they listen. Hitler and the Nazis had many Muslims in their ranks, and that's why they hated the Jews. Was it? I don't know now. I knew they had Muslims. But had the Brits not got Muslims as well in the thing as well? Yeah, I think they had. Yeah. But let's just have another look there. Yeah, that's it. I'm pulling down. I'll pull it down in here. Yeah. Well, that'll take a minute or two to pull down, but yeah. Lads are flying 700 there at holders. Yeah, 700. How are you, Chris? Yeah, stop the benefits. That's what we need to do. The elections were probably rigged. There's no probably about it, lads. No probably about it. I'm telling you now, I knocked on $7,000. So I've said this all along, and I know people were probably lazy and some people didn't get out, but not everyone. Not everyone. And listen, I actually got stuff sent to me only there a while ago. I'll have a look and see if I got it there. Actual pictures of my of my voting cards, and you can clearly see they've been changed. Yeah, so I'm still looking into this now, you know what I mean? So Michelle Keane is looking into it as well. She was told she can't do any more, but I don't think that girl is like she won't let it drop. She won't let it drop, you know what I mean? But I'm not going to let it drop myself either, you know what I mean? But let's see what we have to say. Watch John Waters and Dr. Paul Cunley and see why it's 85% claims against foreign medical people. Yeah, I'll have a watch of it, yeah. Like I was on, I was doing the show before Christmas with Jerry Waters, Trust the Science, and he said we might start doing it again on the Sunday night now. But that used to be quite good, you know. Definitely rigged, yeah. Or rigged, yeah. I believe it was rigged, yeah. Election of always rigged, yeah. But I'll tell you, we'll go with that video. There was someone just out playing silly beggars there, you know, making faces and making noises behind me. But hey, we live on. Okay, I'm going to play this one. This is at the mosque in Tala and Clondalkin. So I'll play this and we'll come back.
So here's the main place there where they're getting all the food out of. And it's called Foam Menders. But they're doing all the food in there. And they're all coming in their cars and going off to the mosques for Ramadan. Loads of little mosques and factories all over Dublin. I wonder is that legal? Do they have permits? Do they even have a food permit to be working in there? Gangs of Muslims, look. All the cars there. And they have a mosque up there. So they're not coming out of that carriage there in Clondalkin, where the mosque is. And they're gonna go up here and they're gonna turn right to the factory. They're going around to get more food where they have no permits to be cooking. What? Told you, it's gonna go right. And then it's gonna go left in there. See? There they all are in there.
They're all down there.
And how did we know where that car was gonna go? Because we're after following about 20 cars tonight. All they all are there in the small cars, look. This is in Clondalkin. Another one. Carloads of them. There's
All the cars going into the mosque.
What? The what? The mosque? No, you did a mosque. No, what? Is that a mosque there or something? Yeah, it's that legal? What, you security? That's a bit of a joke, isn't it? That's a joke, isn't it? What's the matter? There's one in there. Reverse.
Can't get in or out of the place.
Fucking joke. That's a joke in there. Can't even get a bit of grub out of a patch of pizza or anything. No, there's no room. You can't even move with everyone in there, man. You're fucking not even allowed to have that there.
Like, people can't even get in for food, like, you know what I mean? It's crazy. What's this? Peppa Pig, an anti-Islamic slave traders lunchbox, yeah. Halal pizzas, yeah. Sickening. Yeah, what gets me is each house that goes to some foreigner, it deprives Irish people who work hard and have to emigrate. They get no freebies, like we did in the third world, and that's like we give to the third world and its mother. Listen, you have these coming out and saying that the Irish went all around the world and we did this and we took jobs and we built America. We built the underground railway in London. It's Irish people did that. I know people who went over and did that. Like, listen, there was okay, people did go away with 2 and 3 birth certs and do that and do whatever. Okay, I get that. That was the 80s. Listen, it's not happening now, especially not with Irish people. It's only happening with foreigners, you know what I mean? And that's the way it is. Take up archery, boys. Some crack. Yeah, I like to use an elbow. I do myself. Yeah, I do. The Circle K must be going mad. Can't get in to get petrol. Yeah, it's rise up, sons and daughters. Yeah, Finn, I think we have to. We have to. We freed the black slaves for Lincoln. Yeah, canals. Built canals. Yeah, we did all of that. That's a busy little spot there, and it's not suitable for a mosque. I'd say that's the place where they give out the food, all the Ramadan food. You know what I mean? That's what I'd say they do there. This is a Christian country. I don't want Muslims to come here in such numbers, and I don't respect Palestine. They hate us. Yeah, but like, listen, wait till the gays for Palestine find out exactly what goes on in Palestine. They won't be gays for Palestine anymore. The pig's head. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to just move on here. I'm going to move on to Eddie Hobbs and Dr. Vincent Carroll. Now, this is a warning for all parents not to let these people into your schools. Okay, so I'm going to just play this and we'll come back.
Any school should be very, very, very careful about letting any third-party advocacy group enter into the school without a risk assessment done. I mean, people can just go up to the school and produce an ideology from any sort of ideology, if the headmaster, whoever seems to agree, and a person can address a class. I mean, all that carries risk. That's not what schools are for. Schools are for education, and schools should be, the interaction with children should be from professionally trained people, not people who just come in as third-party advocates for whatever they might advocate for, but particularly to advocate in terms of transgenderism or anything like that. I mean, that should not be allowed across the threshold of any school, because parents are not there. Parents presumably have been consulted in a meaningful way, and it creates a mindset within the school, or it has the potential to create a mindset within children that will boost up that 27-fold increase that you mentioned in transgender interest amongst.
Well, I think we're close to the point where it'll be just an insurance point that may not have crossed your mind, and that's that those clubs and associations and all the rest of them that are out there have public liability insurance cover. And that only stands up provided, you've done best efforts to get your house in order. If you rigorously ignore science that has been presented, which is saying that you're doing something here that is potentially damaging to children, you can't rely on your insurance policy to pay out. And I'd imagine we're close to a point where there'll be exemptions coming in on these insurance policies shortly to say, if you're not adapting the CAS report, you're not covered in this area of gender dysphoria.
I should hope so. I mean, that makes common sense. That'd be a good start. And again, the science would be behind the insurance company. Absolutely. Totally agree on that one. I mean, let's just, we shouldn't really be having this conversation, and we wouldn't be under normal circumstances. And these are not normal circumstances because of the agendas that are there. I mean, in normal medicine, you don't have agendas. You just get on and you do what you hope is best based on whatever the evidence and science is. And I would say to the whole area of transgenderism, just carry on as you would with any other scientific endeavor. Now we have a scientific report. Let's use it, let's embrace it, and let's get on with our jobs.
Yeah, I have to say, Vincent Carrott does great work. Eddie Hobbs is doing great work as well. It's brilliant what he's getting out as well, you know what I mean? But yeah, we only have a couple more things to go with, to be honest with you. What will I go with here? Paul, being a hard-lined woman, need to adhere to protective measures. We do. Hang on there. You're right, Paul. The Irish built America. But what about the thousands of Irish daddies that abandoned their family for a life in places like Boston or Liverpool, never to return to Ireland or family? Well, hey, I can't be held accountable for that. Like, you know what I mean? What do you mean, what about them? Like, these things happened. Did they still send money home? You know what I mean? Like, I know a man who had a family over in England and a family here, you know what I mean? And he looked after both families, so they didn't know about each other. So, hey, my son is in Australia, was vetted and had to have at least $5,000 in savings. There, 7-year citizenship, built his own house and got nothing for nothing. And isn't Australia but Irish? Yeah, it's true. Anthony, there's an iPass going up near us. What to do? Okay, you can send that text in to me there on. If you send a text in to me there on 089 203 1521, I can get back to Anthony about that. Yeah. Dinny, no fight in them. I have to agree, Dinny, there's no fight in them. I meant to go out in protest. Yeah. Okay. Bring back Ross Lahoyve and Andy Hazeman back into the schools. Yeah, I should have reached out to Ross there tonight now, to be honest. He'd probably come on with me for a while. 10 years ago, would we think we'd be where we are now? No, it's unbelievable. We are literally blind to it without channels like this. Yeah, well, thanks very much. Share it to everyone and tell everyone that this channel exists, and it's the truth. My son, when he was younger, came home from school and asked me, could he have a day off because his hands were sore from making mini flags for Gay Pride March? I was livid. I would be livid as well. No. That needs to stop as well. Housing list should be realised. Yeah. Should be released. Sorry, realised. Yeah, released. Paul, child labour. That's sick. Yeah. Fucking hell, Paul. Yeah. No way. So sad. Yeah, it is sad. You know what I mean? But now I'm going to finish with, I'll do my little vaccine bit that I always do. Don't I always do a little bit of vaccine stuff? Right, the flu shot. Okay, this is RFK Jr. telling you what you get in your flu shot. Okay, I never got one in my life. I've never got a COVID shot. I've never took a test. And there's a reason why I've never took it. And this man is probably one of the reasons too, because he's coming out telling the truth. We'll go with this and come back.
In a million years, I would not take the flu shot. And I'll tell you why, because this is what Cochrane and BMJ have found. People who take the flu shot are protected against that strain of flu. They're 4.4 times more likely to get a non-flu infection. And you might find, and a lot of people do, that they get the flu shot and then they get sick. They're usually not getting the flu. They're getting something that is indistinguishable from the flu, because the flu shot gives you something called pathogenic priming. It injures your immune system so that you're more likely to get a non-flu viral upper respiratory infection. In fact, the Pentagon published a story, and you can cite this, it's by Wolfe, W-O-L-F-E, in January of this year, in which they said the flu shot not only primes you for flu, but it primes you for coronavirus. If you they gave flu, they had a placebo group and they had a vaccine group, because they wanted for military readiness to see if the flu shot was prophylactic against coronavirus. What they found is actually the people who got the flu shot were 36% more likely to get coronavirus. And that's not a lone study. We found 6 other major studies that say the same thing. If you get the flu shot, you're more likely to get coronavirus.
Yeah. So you're more likely to get coronavirus if you get the flu shot. How many people do you know who got COVID-19 after getting the flu shot? Like, it's a live virus, like, you know what I mean? And he's just explained to you exactly what happens, you know what I mean? So, listen, I know loads of people. Alice just sent me on something else there now. Let me just see. Yeah, I'll pull her up here now. But, okay. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring this over here because I haven't got time to put it down. Okay, I'm just going to share this, guys, right? This is just that they're coming in there now. Sorry, I'll just go with what these are saying here now. They say drag shows for kids over Easter holiday, seemingly one in the Drift, Dublin 15, beside the shopping centre, Dirty Knackers. Well, we'll be all over at that in the Drift, because I'm living up beside that here at the minute. They released the footage of JFK shooting yesterday. Looks like William Greer, the driver, shot him. Yeah, we seen that a couple of weeks ago. Colloidal metals and PCR tests too. Yes, thank God for me and my missus never took the crap at 90 felt that my family did. Listen, my family did as well, but we can help them. That's all we can do. Is Kennedy Jr. a doctor or a scientist? I'm not saying he is wrong, but is he in the lab himself working all this out or reading something he's seen online? Well, he is the top man of the Children's Health Defense US. I think it's the Children's Health Defense worldwide. I'm sure he has doctors. I'm sure he has, like RFK Jr. has taken out more claims, he has sued more pharmaceutical companies than anyone in history. So he knows what he's talking about. Surely he has all the data there from different doctors and different professors. Yeah. So yeah, he is. He's not a doctor or a scientist, but he's a man who's in the know. You know what I mean? He has people there doing it for him. Flu did disappear for 2 winter seasons. Thanks, flu. Because it got rebranded as COVID. We all know that. Everybody knows that. 32 million flu doses a year went to zero during COVID, and then all of a sudden back. There was no flu during COVID. It was just COVID. You know? But I'm actually, when I was talking about that, hang on there, Brian Ardis, did I bring that one up there? Just let me see. No, I thought I did have it there. But yeah, I have. But I'll just pull that up there now in a minute. But yeah, I'm going to go with this woman here. Just this one here. I'm going to share this for a minute. Okay. And because somebody just sent it in. So let's play this and we'll see what this lady has to say. I think it's an abduction or something.
Hi, I don't know if you've heard, but there's been 2 incidences outside of school where school children were walking home from school. 2 girls were walking home from school and they were attacked and upskirted by the same man. Apparently he approached lots of schoolgirls. And I've heard since that there's been a similar incident in the same location where a man was found masturbating beside a different school. And my question really is, when is enough enough? You know, it's clear that there are men who are unhinged and who are running amok, and you know, we don't even have a description. I mean, that's the wild thing. Like in any other time, or perhaps in a different country, you know immediately what they look like, but nobody is saying that. What they are saying is, you know, children should be more careful. And I think it's really sad that in this beautiful weather, school children can't walk home on their own. Every school child in Ireland deserves to walk home without being preyed upon by sexual predators. So my question is, when is enough enough? We need to have a conversation about this, and we need to have it fast, because nobody else is going to do it, and the problem is not going to go away.
Wow. Like, as I said, it's happening 2, 3 times, 4 times a day. Like last year, it was happening once every 2 weeks. Then it was once every week. Now it's every day. Now it's 2 and 3 times a day. We can't let this become the norm, people. We really can't let this become the norm. Trump put Junior in charge doesn't mean he knows anything. Trump put JR in charge doesn't mean people putting a lot of trust in someone they don't even know in a country known for filling their kids with happy pills. Oh. Okay, well, you tell me then. Can you tell me who we put our trust in? The man has had to be put in there as health secretary to try and stop the bullshit that's going on. But yeah, it's still not good enough there. You know what I mean? So what do you want us to do? Do we sit back and just wait for someone else to come along? Because I'm sure RFK Jr. is the man that will do this. Whether he's a Jew lover or whatever else he is, I really don't care. If he gets the truth out, I don't care. You know what I mean? I really don't. But in saying that, what happened was during COVID, listen to what this guy has to say.
Hospitals throughout America were incentivized $150,000 to $500,000 extra for every completed COVID-19 hospitalized protocol that ended in death for that patient.
There are doctors in these hospitals and they're seeing these things. How come no one's doing anything about that? How come no one did anything about it?
The hospital administrators and board directors of all hospitals in America, whether it's a nonprofit hospital or profit hospital, the majority of them are bankers. Did you know that?
No.
And guess what they care about the most? The bottom line. So when the government was incentivizing all hospitals that if you'll just PCR test everybody that walks through your door, for every positive COVID-19 patient diagnosis we get, for every 10 days of remdesivir and the death certificate saying COVID-19 killed them, we will give your hospital for every patient a 20% add-on bonus to the whole bill if you'll just do that. And guess who was paying that out to all hospitals? Medicare was. Our government insurance company was paying and bribing hospitals with a 20% add-on bribe to poison our senior citizens with a drug known to cause acute kidney failure in 24 hours, which the World Health Organization people in November of 2020, after my 5 months of preaching in the media the deadly side effects of the drug remdesivir, the World Health Organization, you can look it up online, finally came out and said, we do not recommend a single COVID-19 hospitalized patient in the whole world be given remdesivir.
Remdesivir, it even states it on remdesivir not to give it with people, not to give it to people with chronic breathing comorbidities. Now, what is a coronavirus? Coronavirus is your breathing. It's a respiratory virus. You're not supposed to give remdesivir. And if you look at what he said there, within 10 days, these people were dead because they were put on this remdesivir program. It's the end-of-life drug. It's an end-of-life program. It's the Liverpool one, whatever they call it. I think it's a 5 or 6 day program. Listen, I know people here that were put on midazolam. Okay, midazolam is the same thing. It's an end-of-life drug. You know, cults are cults. Attack the biometric mapping system incorporated global films. Yeah. Liz, I don't care what you think. Paddy, come on. Listen, people are only on here just to, you know what I mean, to get voice their opinion. JFK Jr.'s book, The Real Anthony Fauci, is like the pinnacle of academic writing. He backs up everything he says. That's why Fauci couldn't sue him, even if he wanted to. Yeah, you're dead right. Fair play to you. Mad Paddy just saying, yeah, listen, no fighting, people. We don't like fighting here. Sorry, I'm a bit behind. Yeah, no problem. I'm sick of you leftists. I'm not a leftist. I don't think she is either, to be honest with you. Davina pulls hearts out of the rhythm from cell phones. hidden body scoring apps and put colloidal method in the vaccines, so it attacks your biometric maple of you. Okay, the Liverpool pathway, that's exactly the one I was looking for. And there was actually a guy who came out in the UK, his father was killed by this, and he came out and he put it all out into the open, and he was dead 2 weeks later. Committed suicide, the poor chap. He couldn't live with himself, you know. So when they put them on ventilators, it blew up their lungs and they died more. Yes, that's exactly what happened. But we know what happened, you know what I mean? We know exactly what happened. I'm going to play one more video before I go, right? This, because everyone keeps asking about toxins in your body and everything else. How do we get rid of it? The whole lot. This girl has a good thing here, Epsom salts, and have a listen to her just for a minute and we'll finish up then.
So I love detox baths. They take care of radiation poisoning, they take care of pesticides, they take care of heavy metals, all kinds of things, even some parasites. So if you got a bathtub, you know someone's got a bathtub, that's the easiest, fastest way. Good old baking soda. So 1 or 2 cups of baking soda, 1 or 2 cups of Epsom salts in there. That already is a wonderful radiation detox. It gets fungus, yeast out of your body as well. You add a little bit of bentonite clay. Aztec Secret is a wonderful brand, 1/2 to 1 cup. Now you've also got a major pull of poison coming out. You add in 1 cup of borax, you know, that laundry detergent. That'll take nanotechnology out of you. You scrub down, scrub down, scrub down. 20 minutes, as hot as you tolerate it, right?
Brought alleged sex traffickers and is making elites richer. Since Trump took over, he pushed digital currency. He stopped freedom of speech for those that oppose him. Okay, and what did the Democrats do? If you don't mind me asking, Irish edition, what did the Democrats do to Trump for the 4 years he was in office? They opposed him. They stopped his free speech. Even while he wasn't president, they tried to arrest him for everything else. So, you know, I'm a big Trumper. I'm sorry. I'm not going to, you know. Yeah, grand, Paddy, no worries. Hang on, what have we got there? Last one. What, have you a link to the last vid, Paul? Can you drop it in the comments? Yeah, I will. Yeah, the one for the detox. Yeah, I'll drop it in the comments there. No problem. I actually have the link. I can send it on WhatsApp there. It's on WhatsApp. I have the video there. So if you send me a message on WhatsApp there on that number there, 089-203-1521. If you send me a text on that, John, I can send you on any video you want there that we have. So, yeah, no problem, John. Your mic, Paul. Is your mic not working? Are we back on now? Give us a... Might be a bit harsh. On mute. Am I still on mute? Because I'm going to finish it up there now and anyway. So am I still on mute or can you hear me? Give us a thumbs up if you can hear me. No, at all. Yeah. Okay. Listen, I'm going to finish up tonight and it's been great, I have to say. And I enjoyed being here on my own, even though nobody came in to talk to me. We can probably do that Sunday night as well. So, as we say every night after the show, the truth is like a lion. You don't have to defend it. You just let it loose and it will defend itself. Good night and God bless everybody.